Stangibelisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV. Whiskey 1, good vibrations. One of the suggested additional videos to watch attached to one of my recent ones, I think it was the Hermit one about living all alone and how the quarantine or the approaching likely quarantine in one's own home because of coronavirus and all of this, it wouldn't affect me very much because I hardly ever go out anyway. It might affect me insofar as to what supplies are available at the stores, but I'm not a real heavy user of toilet paper. And I never could understand that, hoarding toilet paper. That used to happen before hurricanes when I lived in Florida. One of the things that people would hoard as a massive hurricane approached was toilet paper. And I just never quite got my brain around that one. But getting back to the point at hand here, there were a couple of hermits featured in videos attached to, how they have suggested additional videos down below on YouTube. One of my recent ones, anyway, there was one where a man who lived in the extreme southern part of South America, I believe it was the extreme south of Chile, almost at the Strait of Magellan. He was all the way down there. And he had lived all by himself since 1965. You figure the number of years that would be. That was about when I was licensed. It'd be about 54 years or 55 years now. Over half a century, all by himself. And they visited him. Some people visited him, and he was more than eager to talk to them and to converse with them. And of course it was in probably Spanish, but so there were subtitles. And it was really fascinating. The video was about 10 minutes long. How he got by down there all by himself for a half a century. And if he got sick, like if he got an infected foot like I did, I guess it was bye-bye world. But he seemed healthy as could be. He looked pretty old. I think he was about 70 years old or something like that. Maybe a little older than that. I don't know, but he had gray beard and gray hair, but he conversed a great deal. He seemed very sociable. Then there was another case. One of the other videos was a woman who lived in Siberia, way up there in Siberia, all by herself. And what was striking about her was that she looked almost exactly like my Italian grandmother looked as I remember her long ago. But of course she was Russian, not Italian, but she smiled and that video is over an hour long, I think. And it was really fascinating in the same way that this other video with the man in Patagonia, I believe it's Patagonia, but it was the extreme south of Chile, almost on opposite sides of the globe. It was practically at the antipodes of the planet. And I just imagined, I wonder if these two people were to obtain amateur radio licenses somehow, or were to be radio amateurs and like to operate on a band like, the HF bands. And they had all this ham radio equipment. Heck, I don't know what they'd do when it broke for parts, but maybe they'd have people come down and help them. But imagine what a QSO between these two people would be like. Suppose that they could speak each other's language and could thereby have a QSO on CW, of course, say 20 meters CW or 15 meters CW. Or maybe they were really into 160 and DXing with kite antennas. And but the propagation might go along the gray line, the terminator between day and night on the Earth, might at some certain times cross through both of their QTHs, but whenever. Suppose they had a regular schedule of QSOs and were familiar with each other in every way. Radio hams, one Russian and one, I guess, Chilean. The man in the South America and the woman, the old woman up in Siberia. What do you suppose would happen as their QSO schedule evolved? Do you suppose that people have ever fallen in love on CW from opposite sides of the world? My brain is really rambling tonight. I just had to get something out of it. And it doesn't even need any toilet paper to wipe away. If you don't want to watch it anymore, just shut off the computer and wipe the screen with toilet paper. Oh my. Stangibelisco saying 73. And so long, which in my native fist and theirs always would and will translate to da 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 da.